Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media, and this is Plan in Traffic, which we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And we talk about cars, boats, trucks, anything you put gas in. You know how we do. This is my man, Ray, from Motormouth Radio. This is the world-famous radio syndicate, Motormouth Radio. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, I bring the burritos, the tacos, the chorizos, all of that kind of stuff, so we put gas in that too.
Yeah, all the New York favorites.
Well, they're world favorites, man. You know,
Yeah.
California's got some really good Mexican food. I tell you that.
Yeah, they do. We have we got a special guest coming on. They dropped off. I don't know what happened, but K's Kustom with Joshua and Rachel. So hopefully they'll get back in a minute.
Yeah.
So Ray, what's going on with you? Who's your guest Sunday?
The last Sunday we what did we do last Sunday? I didn't have Luke last Sunday. I had Marty Schulte from Eclipse Sunshades. That's these retractable sunshades I've been using in my car. We got a lot of tool guys now. All of a sudden, that we had Eddie from Lyle, and then Luke from Easy Red. And Luke sends Eddie sent me Luke. Luke sends me 3 more contacts.
Oh yeah. And
the problem is though, like, we don't want to do the same thing every week because, for listeners, that could get a little boring or played out. So we got to try and space it out. And then the fear is, well, you don't want to lose the guys. You don't want them to say, hey, you know what? I forgot about you,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's always a tough game. You know that. Booking a guest is always the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
so tell everybody how to get to your show.
Yeah, Motormouth Radio is it's a live show on FM radio, terrestrial radio on 90.3 FM in New York, but we live stream it. So you can go to our website, motormouthradio.com, and there's a live stream button on there. And it's also on this is Restream. We're on Spreaker, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on there's another one too that we're on Performance Motorsports Network. So there's a number of ways. If you just Google it, you'll find people will find the links. But motormouthradio.com is the easiest because you may remember that, and we stream it right off of there.
Nice, great show. When I get a chance to listen to you, usually I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
but when I do listen to you, I learn little stuff. Every time I listen to something like that, I learn something new. It could be just something small, like how to turn a nut the right way.
Lowe's, it's just like this show, and that's why the 2 shows go so well together. Chris and I will sit and we will just talk about what we did during the week. I'll talk about stuff I did in the shop, and there's always some stuff that's of interest. And we all know that just because any of us do something over and over again, somebody else hasn't done it, or they wondered how to do it. So you make that a teaching moment and you talk about it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I learn something new every day.
Yeah. So that's when that stops happening,
You're dead.
And if it stops being fun, it's like close the curtains, go out for coffee, do something else.
Yeah.
So
I got
I think shows like this, like we do here, and like I do on Sunday. There's more of them creeping up. There's people creeping up. A lot of podcasts. But it's just like the car shows on TV. It's not for everybody. Not every show is for everybody. You have to just see what works for you, because there's personalities involved,
Yep. Hey, guys. Can you hear us? Josh, Rachel?
Boink. Maybe it's the internet thing.
All right.
Asked you to do that.
We can hear you guys. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah, we have
We're sorry.
satellite, and
Oh, yeah.
Skyroam is not. I don't suggest Skyroam.
All right. I think we're okay right now. Sorry about that, gentlemen.
Oh, that's okay. This is Joshua and Rachel from K's Kustom.
How you
guys doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Hope we don't lose that again.
So tell us where you're from and tell us about your business. Real unique business.
We from Warwick, Rhode Island. Thank you. We appreciate it. We specialize in all aspects of children's ride-ons, A to Z, sales, service, customize, recycle, events, special builds, anything we can get our hands on in that realm. Because children start small and they have to get old enough to drive. So they gotta get them hooked on the hobby early.
Yeah, get them started early.
Correct.
So, how'd you guys get into that?
My daughter, Carissa, she is the K of Case Customs. It's named after her. We've been subject to what's known as parental alienation, I guess. Yes, that's her right there in one of her custom cars.
Very cool.
Grave digger, rat gasser. I love that car.
She's not with us, but this is a photo of her from last year.
Okay.
She's going to be 12. Bought her first one when she was 18 months. I was trying to make the most out of the limited time we had and make the best of a bad situation. So started with little cars, and she had this little ATV, and she lit up from ear to ear, and I kind of knew it was a thing to keep doing. And she had a cozy coupe that she was trying to age out of, so I took the ATV and the cozy coupe, and I built them together and came up with this little modified car, and just kind of went to a Jeep, and Jeep went into this and that, and I can't even tell you how many she's had. But
She gets all the prototypes?
Excuse me?
She gets all the prototypes, huh?
She gets all the prototypes. It's named after her. K as in the possessive and the plural, her customs. So,
Right.
and then folks started to ask me, hey, can you do this and do that? And kind of organically grew from there.
When I met Josh in 2015, he had just been in the local Providence Journal for the Father's Day edition, where he had taken Carissa in what we called Pinky. He had created, she called it Pinky. He created her a Jeep Wrangler, children's ride-on Power Wheels, and he had over 3,000 rhinestones, and there was lights. And we went to a car show, and you gentlemen would understand that a child driving a car around beautiful cars is not necessarily kosher, but she sparked the attention of a lot of people because she's very charismatic, and they landed in the paper about father and daughter and the love of cars. I came into the picture in August of 2015, and by that February, we were in a situation where I was like, this is something you really like. Why don't you make it a full-time business? And since then, we've been working together trying to grow his passion, keeping Carissa involved. And we've had some really great experiences with the Hope and Healing build we did, where you met us with doing the Bumblebee, and other ways we give back to the community. But it's really awesome because we also love the environment. So we have the opportunity where we recycle for our central landfill here in Rhode Island. So we're able to repurpose these for folks at a reasonable cost, but we also recycle them where they're not just getting thrown into the landfill as full units. And because of the recycling that we do, we're able to supply other builders
or repairers
around the
mom,
United
dad,
States, Canada, Netherlands, around the world. We sell parts for units you can't find elsewhere.
Well, just everyday parts. But yes, we could get our hands on rare stuff too. So
it's cool. It's not just making smiles for miles here locally. We've helped various people and other builders across the United States and Canada be able to continue to, modify and have their children enjoy the ride-ons.
we find some rare ones people don't get their hands on, and we sell them, to different people. A little Ferrari back here you won't find. It's a Buddy L. Buddy L doesn't make cars anymore. They've been pressed steel. They had a handful of ride-on toys called the Power Drivers, so things like that.
I didn't realize how many different cars they make. I mean, there's a lot of different electric cars out, huh?
Absolutely. It's been a thing since the early 80s, even probably before that, but not in the manufactured and the mass-produced aspect. To the best of my knowledge, one of the mass production companies was a company called Pines of America, which is now known as basically Peg-Perigo, but that's a long story short. Long story in itself. But then Pines of America was bought up by a company called Kransco. Mattel and Fisher Price got wind of the popularity. They bought out Kransco and put it under their Fisher Price brand and used all the Mattel, brands like Barbie and whatnot to, push their product, as well as they got the Jeep license. So it kind of blew up from there. And then the modified world is something completely all different altogether. There's a number of people that build them on high scale like myself. I mean, there's guys that make these things really, really fast, race them, and hydraulics, crazy stuff with these.
I need one with hydraulics. I don't think I could fit in one though.
They make an adult one. I forgot. It's that big car.
They call them Kid Stance. Denver Pettigrew out of Florida. He makes some really amazing kids' cars with hydraulics, lights. I mean, pretty amazing stuff. He's well known.
I would say that we always refer to ourselves as like the garage war style builders in the junkyard wars, because we're really into repurposing and trying to reuse what's already existing. So sometimes things are really cool looking and functional. I wish we had our digger rat rod here. They're not always aesthetically like perfect, but there's always a lot of interesting features to it and work put into them, whether it's vinyl work or, you know, extending the cab so Carissa can fit into something with suicide doors and such like that. So we're our own little world in some respects.
Yeah. What do you think, Ray?
You know, it like we were just talking about, Lewis, where you learn things. You know, listening to Joshua talk, he's got a whole plethora of information about these toys and the toy companies that, I mean, I just have a passing knowledge of. And, you know, I could sit and listen to him talk about this stuff for hours because he obviously has it nailed.
I've only been able to learn over the last 10 years. I didn't know anything about children's ride-ons prior to this. I would have been a welder, vacuum chain technician, a number of different things. Tow truck operator for the Mass Pike, doing some, just putting my hands in all different things. My hands have always been my key to survival, basically. You know.
Right.
So when my daughter was born, I was able to take, you know, my electrical knowledge and my motor knowledge and all these different aspects, my welding and fabrication, and kind of hone it all into these small children's cars. It was like I was like a natural fit, and I've always had a smile on my face doing it, and seeing the children smile, and my daughter is just exhilarating in many ways.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I know my kids, I have two daughters, when they were younger, really like working with them, and to see kids are so easy to work with because they want to learn, they want to soak up everything, they want to be with you, and to see their faces light up when they do something or they accomplish something, it's almost like it's just like something you never want to stop doing, you know. And
absolutely,
I agree. It's very fulfilling. It's
some of these children, they get their first car in some respects from us. And to see them, you know, step on the gas and they turn back, look at either us or their parents, primarily their parents, but we're still there with them. And it's just this tremendous light of smile. It's like, yep.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
We're the only place that you can go around and you bring your child to do test drives.
Yeah.
You know, we allow them to drive around and the child gets to choose which ride on, and it's a unique experience.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, you know, and you're starting the kids out in the field, in the car field, and that's really needed these days because of all the trade schools being out, and you know, so this is nice. Do you ever have any classes or teach people how to do stuff, or is that
We've never been asked to teach, but we definitely get asked for information from folks, calls, and hey, how do I fix this? Or troubleshoot this. And I'm sure you folks can understand it's hard to troubleshoot something over the phone. But we do our best we can. You know, if we can maybe video conference with occasional people or as many photos as we can, and we do what we can.
I know one of
via, you know, phones and internet and whatnot. But
I think one of the things we were talking about is possibly doing a blog once a month. You know, giving people some of the easy knowledge about maintaining your ride-on, like SLA batteries. People think they can not charge them for 6 months and that they're going to go ahead, plug it in, charge it, and their ride-on's going to go. SLA batteries are temperamental. We have our whole little spiel that when someone purchases from us, we go from the A to Z. We pretend like you know nothing. We explain the battery maintenance, you know, and the proper care and the knowledge that we've learned in our experience. I mean, even the simple thing where with the children's ride-on, the motors and gearboxes are in the back and the front wheels are usually freewheeled most of the time. So when your child's out in the yard and the ride-on's stopped and the battery's done, you tow truck it. And you teach a parent that, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, that's so much easier than pushing it. So I think the education that we've done is through the people getting service and repair, what we tell them when they come. And we've also thought about starting a blog where we can start to help educate folks on some of the maintenance that we've learned that helps keep these ride-ons on the road.
I thought about doing pre-driver's ed where we set up in a lot and children come up and they learn hand signals and these types of road rules, but in a very condensed, confined area. Unfortunately, as we know, last year was what I was going to try to launch something like that, and many things went out the window.
Yeah.
We have a big park. We have a big park here near where I live, and they have what's called Safety Town in that park. And what it is, it's like a little town with roads and stop signs and railroads and all. And both of my kids, when they were in school, I guess they were in grade school, as a class trip, they went there. And they taught these kids a little bit of driver safety, and they were in battery-powered cars. And I always thought that was fantastic.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, start them early.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to put your website.
Drivers later. Oh, my God. I think we might have lost you.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You can share on the screen.
I'm sharing my screen showing your website. So if anybody on the live stream, if you want to go check out their website, it's what is it? K's Customs. Wait a minute.
K'sCustoms.com.
Yep, go check them out, man. It's pretty slick. It looks like a car lot here. Oh, you got motorcycles and stuff too, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
We have almost anything with the wheels that children can drive. We try to get our hands on it. Even razor products, go-karts. We can't do anything gas right yet because we do operate out of a storage units for the moment when they have some strict rules. We try not to break them.
Yeah.
My
That is
daughter
pretty
has
cool.
her first gas, so we're definitely in that progression.
Yeah. I would have never imagined this until I seen you guys over at Mike's on his show. And I just thought it was the coolest thing because nobody's doing it. Is anybody else doing it in the country? Do you know?
There are other builders. There are definitely other fabricators. There are people that do some parting out, but we've definitely taken it to that next level. We've made it full time. We're available almost 24 hours a day. Rachel's been killing me.
I mean, I think we have tried to take the idea of recycling, repurposing them, the A to Z of children's ride-ons. And like Josh said, there's a lot of people that do individual parts of it, but they don't offer the complete range that we do. I mean, we've done charity events pre-COVID where we would literally set up a racetrack or for children to come obstacle course, and then part of the proceeds would go towards whatever charity had invited us. We've done touch-a-trucks. There's a local playground here in Rhode Island called the Impossible Dream that's set up for children and handicapped children, and that's where we began doing our first track.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always trying to give back to the community along with that too. It's been a great experience. Watching a child's eyes light up when they realize they can step on a pedal or push a button and ride, and then
we give adults some joy too. We find people cars that they didn't know existed. We found a gentleman. I acquired a 1920 Gazelle, Mercedes Gazelle. I loved the car. It was pretty awesome, and I was starting to build my daughter her Mercedes go-kart, and so I put it up for sale. And this gentleman in Florida found it. He's like, I have one. I want it for my grandchildren so we could take it down parades. He ended up buying it. We shipped it to Florida. We've shipped rare Barbie cars out to California. Little PP300s like this little one behind us. Out to Texas.
We just fixed
one of these for a gentleman. This is my custom. It's going to be a hot rod when it's done with a big blower engine out the front. And
Nice.
it's pretty fun.
And then behind Josh, we're working on a local gentleman here in Rhode Island owns an actual Batmobile replica.
Oh, yeah.
And he hired us to take his Kingsbury, originally 6-volt, and we're customizing it and trying to make it more authentic.
It's going to look like
looking.
the 1989 Batmobile that everybody's familiar with. This was pretty static, had just some decals and stuff. So now we're going to 3D print some items. We recreated on hand. We basically hand made these wings in the back and stuff. So It's going to have full flames coming out the back. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
the whole gamut.
It is. So tell us a little bit about the Bumblebee and that setup.
Yeah, Bumblebee. I think that was the highlight of our builds. Definitely a collaboration. We replicated the Volkswagen Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie that came out. We got
in 2018 it came out.
Correct. We got our hands on what's called a Peg Paragon Magica. It's a replica of a VW. The original one came from Virginia and came up on the Optimus that we spoke about previously.
Well, tell us about that because we wasn't live yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we worked with a gentleman who owns an Age of Extinction replica of Optimus Prime. We had a partnership where we created our own Transformer, which was the Bumblebee, created out of the Volkswagen shell that I just mentioned. We took the 2018 movie and we took the VW and we created, to the best of our ability, that movie's version. We had an encrusted beehive under the driver's side front wheel well, because if you watch the movie, she comes around, there's a live beehive. We had key sounds where if the car started, it sounded just like a VW starting.
If you watch the movie, Josh literally took sound bites from the whole movie and added it into the car. So if you opened the doors, it sounded like it was transforming. He created a radio that played the part of the soundtrack of the movie.
Yeah, him built it. I took some Adrunio components and made it so the knobs turned and stuff, and it was just hell.
And if you are familiar with Transformers, when Bumblebee talks, it goes between stations. There's static, so he added the static to it to try to make it authentic. And then we also, because this build, so it was exciting to make Bumblebee because we're huge Transformer fans, but knowing that it was going to a family of a fallen officer in Weymouth, Mass, and we were building it for these two children whose father had just passed away, we added their father into the build. So I have a background in graphic design, so I created recreated his badge, and we worked with a local laser engraver who helped us.
Good, yeah. Well, we did laser engraved acrylic, which was edge lit with LEDs, so it lit up. And this is the first thing that's ever been done in the ride-on world. And it was put under the hood and then some on the doors as well. But when you opened up the hood, there was a helmet that we cut, and we had Bumblebee's face, because in the recreation of the movie, when she meets Bumblebee, he lights up, the eyes light up, and he transforms. Well, we try to do our best to recreate that under the hood. So if you press the button, the sound animation that happens that same time while his eyes light up. Well, we have this dual edge acrylic hovering over his face, and that had his what they called B-Vision, which was like this hollow honeycomb look, and all in digital with our sponsors and all kinds of real detail and stuff. So
that was something that I had to create. It was his vision, and it was my job to create what he was looking for.
If I had some photos, that definitely help.
It's on our website. If you go under our About, I believe it says Project Gold Wheels, you can see the imagery of the build and what we put into it. And there's a
video on YouTube that's pretty much a walkthrough before we were able to gift it. My daughter, myself, all three of us, we show it a local Matchbox collector here, the car, and it's about a 45-minute, maybe an hour walkthrough. We basically show every detail that we can, the hood, the lights, and all the fun stuff, all the little details. So you can definitely see it there if you're interested in more. But the gifting of it was pretty massive. I mean, we had 4 Camaro replicas, and then we had an Autobot Transformer creation out of a gentleman locally, and then the Optimus Prime replica of the Age of Extinction. And then our car was covered on the back of it, and we had basically a police escort.
From
Hanover Mall.
From the Hanover Mall to the unsuspecting family's home. And this is the first time they had been to their home in over a year since their dad had passed away. So many of them kind of didn't really know why they were there. And so all the sirens are blaring, and we just kind of roll on in nice and easy, and all these kids looking around, this Transformer now outside their house. And Joe goes to the truck and introduces himself, and he's the owner, Joe Fiducia. and we kind of gives everybody their tour of what their experience that they're about to have. And lastly, they unveil Bumblebee, and we give it to the children. That's where my daughter Carissa, the KFK's Customs, gives the 2 children the personal introduction, hands-on. And all the adults kind of just stay out, and it's just the children one-on-one, and she gives it to them.
That's great. That's great.
It was I don't think anything will ever match that experience because it was such a one of a kind experience.
It touched home on many different levels.
And the family was so open and so grateful and receptive for what we were doing that it was really nice. They had been very active in the social media. A lot of people, it was a big thing around here when this gentleman passed away. So we came in towards the end of a very long year for them, and they had just come back from.
Yeah, they didn't even want us to show up. The mom was actually, I'm kind of done with all this. And the chief of police, which was a fairly relative, was like, I think we really want to try to just put this one more event on, And so he kind of helped talk the mom into it. But after she was like, I'm glad it happened because we were basically the last. We were the closure for all the
year of what they went through.
The year of what they went through.
Oh, that's great. Getting the echo.
Yeah, you are. That kind of leads me to think like, damn, you have such a great, heartwarming event like that, and then you think, what can we do next?
Absolutely.
Like it was all about like what.
We're looking for what to do next. Nothing necessarily to top it, but just to add to our resume.
Right.
Because every experience is completely different in our mind, and every experience is just awesome.
Sounds like the chipmunks are here.
Yes.
Heidi and Arco, you're giving us feedback. Can you hear us? Give us a mic check.
Mic is off.
Got a mime check.
Try it now. Joshua, I think you know Arco, don't you?
I'm sorry?
Do you know Arco?
Not personally, just from the show. Mike introduced most of us all.
Yeah, ended up on the same spot.
We met Mike through actually one of the local artists that did a cartoon drawing of my daughter and a couple of her builds. His name is
Jim Whitechading.
Jim Whitechading.
He works with Mike a lot doing the cartoons
for the National Car Show. So the safety dinosaur, Buckle-Uposaurus. So that's how I get introduced to Mike.
Hold on. You're killing us.
I don't know. But an interesting story briefly. We ended up meeting Joe Fiducia, the owner of that Age of Extinction, because of this little Optimus Prime 6-volt we had, which we come across a lot of rare units. And this is something you don't find every day. And we had it on our website. Somebody had tagged him in it, and we didn't know somebody even drove a replica. So we started paying attention to Joe, and we found out that he was local to us in Connecticut. So as a family experience, we went down to see him at this truck convoy that they had. And it was a pretty massive experience. It was for the Wheels for Wishes truck convoy. Mm-hmm. Thousands of trucks of all shapes, sizes, some really spectacular stuff. Monster trucks, a really great experience for children. So we all went down. We met Joe. We told him what he did. He apparently was taken back by what he did and sent us an email the first year. Hey, I want to do a custom build with you. And I'm like, go show Rachel my phone. Hey, read this. Check this out. And next thing you know, 6 months, a year later, we're gifting a Bumblebee
away.
That's pretty neat. Now, how big is that Optimus Prime? It's pretty big, huh? No, the replica that the.
Oh yeah, no,
it's a full size.
It's a full size. No, it's the Western Star 1605 or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was a small version of it.
No.
I actually seen that truck. It was here at our local car show one time. Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty nice. They did a good job on it.
Correct. He got exclusive permission from Hasbro with some obviously some details. I mean, because he couldn't do certain things because he didn't want to sign off like exclusive permission. It was a weird little workout, but he got the permission to build that specific unit. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Have you seen it, Ray?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, they did a good job on it. You would think you were watching the movie.
Absolutely. He's got some steam then that shoots out a not steam,
smoke.
but like CO2, compressed oxygen now that shoots out of some all full LEDs, a sword that goes in the back and stuff.
So the sword only for indoor car shows.
Yeah.
See if we had any questions in the chat. We get Chassis John in. What's up, John? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you fine, man. It's great. This is awesome. Interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
A little different, right, John? A little bit out of the box.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I've been like glued to the screen.
I never realized how many different cars and motorcycles there are out there until I started looking on your website.
I had no clue.
We ended up.
I mean, you just know the usual ones, you know, like that little pink Barbie thing that you see kids rolling around on.
Right.
Yeah,
I've seen Corvettes, I've seen Hummers,
and Jeeps.
Jeeps. Yeah, I didn't know there was
had
all that other stuff.
I picked up a Porsche. I think it was a 944 years ago.
Ooh, was it
that's
white?
Rare.
Is that the white one?
No, it was red. And my kids were already too old for it. So I actually gave it to a friend who had a young daughter. I said, "Here, you take it and, use it."
You guys got really happy. You're like, ooh.
This one we think about, it's an 18 volt, and there are certain ones in our world that have a very high resale value. And if you have the one we're thinking about, it's a 1989 18 volt, it can fetch anywhere from $600 to $700 in mint condition or more to the right buyer.
Had I known.
Yes. When we found out, we started looking for some of these things on the hush hush for sure.
Well, you see, that's why you guys got to talk to my wife. That's why I tell her, that's why I don't throw anything out. Because, you wait 10, 15, 20 years, it's going to be worth a lot of money.
Absolutely, especially toys.
That's why I collect all this stuff, It's
out in Ohio, actually, Central Ohio Dragway, a gentleman, Mel Robinson, I believe is his last name. They do Power Wheel racing out there. Where they have a modified group for 24 volt, then they have like modified 12 volt. There's like 3 different classes, and they do a lot of racing. We supply some parts.
Wheelie stands, kids' cars,
and they go down the dragway. It's
short stretch, but still.
But Central Ohio, it's pretty
I'm
cool.
about to look into that.
Different groups that do stuff
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
Now, what is the fastest car you've seen run?
Well, that I've personally seen run. That would be my daughter's. Her Mercedes. It's a 1960 Mercedes SL 300. It's a rare kids tracks.
Shell.
I took the shell and I built a cart out of it. High performance cart parts, custom axle. It's a live axle, 48 volt brushless motor. It's geared right now to run about 23 miles an hour, but it's not complete. I built it upside down, and I don't use plans. I don't have drawings. I build in my head. And I built it upside down. I built it upside down, literally in my head. So initially, it was running in reverse for a long time.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't quite figure out. So everything was reversed, and I'm like, even my brake cylinder is upside down. So now I had to rework it all, but it works pretty awesome. I've had some custom builders around here that build like machines. Could be like, this is a kid's car, and you built this? Yes.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, it really is.
Very cool.
Urkel and Heidi are they're on punishment, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys are on timeout.
Sign
No
lag.
audio.
Vocal jail.
You know what? Try
Log out and log out. Log in and log in.
Yeah, log back out and come back in. We'll get Brian in. What's up, Brian?
Hey,
Brian.
big Brian.
Hey, guys.
What's
How y'all
up, brother?
doing?
What are you doing, sir?
Hello.
Brian is our tool guy, so if you need any tools, he's the man.
Macro Maven.
We're getting there. We're very primitive. We don't have a lot of tools per se. It's bang a piece of 2x4 to a bench and bend really hard when you got to bend steel.
That sounds good.
Did Cheese help me?
The diamond plate in particular, I had to help him bend for our gas or rat rod that you made. With
That and the trike.
And the trike, yes.
Built a 7-foot-long trike for my daughter out of like a razor cart, Escalade body, an old chopper. There isn't another one that I've seen yet. It even holds 4 passengers. She's got a trophy for it.
Wow.
Wow.
How about an
So what
electric
scale?
big wheel?
They're all big. It was basically an electric big wheel, yes. I've even taken
That would be really cool.
pedaled cars and ripped the pedals off and put motors in them. And I can put motors in almost anything.
That'd be neat
So
to have a
what's your
adult-sized
biggest-
electric big wheel.
What's the biggest scale that you've made compared
They're
to
all the
smallest?
good cars. I don't know what scale that would be, but
I don't know either, but we primarily have only built like children's ride-on, so go-kart and smaller, I would assume if we had to give a size. It's primarily what we focus on.
Aren't those like 1/5 or something like that?
Anybody hear
I
us?
don't know.
Yeah, we hear
I
you.
was never really good with the scale, unfortunately.
Finally.
Yes.
There
I
they
just try to
are.
make cool,
One
fun
big
stuff.
technical difficulty today.
Man, it's been a long day.
Yeah, I bought a Kia. I bet you could make it run faster than it does right now.
That's all right. We started off the same way. Our Skyrim fell off the time.
Yeah, my car is half scale.
Half fast.
Possibly, yes.
Your guys' cars
Just get some
so
Tesla
cool.
batteries and throw them in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tesla's the way to go.
Now, being in the car game, my thought is, can you put more motors on, like more like electric motor on each wheel, or can you really hop them up? Like,
I've made 4-wheel drives. I've made things that didn't have any motors have motors. We've made them go faster. A woman actually reached out. She wants us to build her a
pulling Jeep.
Correct.
There's I guess in Maine they have the county fairs. And this woman Courtney just reached out to us. She wants her daughter, who's now 5, so she's allowed to be part of it. They do pulling Jeep contests. You know how they do truck pulls?
yeah.
They do a class where you can do children's ride-on pulls. So we're waiting to get the
God.
specs. Yes, so we're waiting to get the specs to find
The
out.
sled is like this big.
Calls are doing various different things. Within the first 3 months of actually starting full time, a woman, an artist who moved up here to do a residency, reached out. She got part of the big parade for us. So Newport,
Bristol.
Bristol parade. I'm
It's like
sorry.
the oldest 4th of July parade in the United States.
It was the 231st parade, and she wanted to bring Power Wheels down in old historic ships. So she acquired the ride-ons from us and built various ships around them. And we were her pit crew, and we walked 2.5 miles getting these,
Make sure the batteries were switched out when they needed to be.
keeping the kids from smashing into each
other.
other. More cooling than you think.
We
Hey,
actually
like grown-ups.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Like grown-ups running into
Yes.
each other.
What kind of batteries do you use? Do you like use these? I used to do some professional camera work, so we have these bricks. They call them bricks,
We
and they're different voltages.
Right now, we use standard SLA batteries. We try to keep it safe and simple. We do try to, if we can, we throw a deep cycle in, something that's looking for more abuse out of that battery. But when you're looking for high performance, the lithium poly, lithium ion, or the
Yeah, that's what we used to use.
that's what people are seeing now for that high output and
Right.
quick bursts. For
So
sure,
now, to mate with that, what type of motors are you using?
it's definitely a RC motors. A lot of RC motors, especially if you're talking about what she was speaking of the drags for the out west, the
Yes.
central dragway and whatnot. But then, because they have restrictions, but if you're talking carts and stuff, people are putting brushless motors, overvolting these controllers, doing shunt mods where say it was only 48 volts. They're doing a shunt mod and they're setting 72 volts or more to them. And these machines are hauling.
I bet.
There's this one guy, John G. Jones. He's kind of like the pioneer in some of this really high performance stuff. He built something that high working parachute. I mean, this thing was is still insane. He ended up stripping it down and building something out of it. But he's John G. Jones, pretty amazing stuff out of him.
Well, brushes is the way to go with electric tools now, Brian. Right? That's the new wave.
Yeah.
Nothing like the smell of burning brushes, though. It lets you know that something's happening.
And getting to see those sparks on the armature.
Exactly.
So, are those
something wrong?
are those
No,
rated like
on it.
this is like a real dumb question, but are those motors are they rated in horsepower or how do they rate that?
Turns. They count them on the turns. So many turns, and then you have your pinion, which helps determine how fast you go. So if you have a 13 tooth pinion, you're going to get more torque. You have a 23 tooth pinion, you're going to get more speed, more turns. Then your motor has so many turns. The most common turns is 12 turn, Traxxas, things like that. Some people use homes, hobbies, and really high performance motors.
And then
cool
are
them
they
off
running,
with little
Little fans.
or even some even use RC, the PC cooling systems. Wrap them around the motors, have little cooling systems.
and then you run like are they running like a potentiometer in those also with that?
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you.
I don't know.
Are they running a potentiometer
One more time, please.
in there also?
Potentiometer.
You guys there?
A potentiometer. Is that?
You can use ESCs or electronic speed controls.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention to how fast them gearbox, you're going to start shattering gears.
Yeah.
You can possibly hurt somebody. And then you stick with you definitely when you start modifying, you want to worry about your switches, your ratings, and your wiring because your current, thin wiring, too much current, you all folks know, going to cause a problem. Switches can weld open, machines can take off. Kids are then taken off with no way to control them. Almost happened to my daughter once. Thankfully, there was a set of stairs in front of our house, and it went out. Dad jumped in, kind of scooped her up, and the machine started to finally stop. But
Wow.
Yeah.
What about tires? A lot of these things that I've seen, because it's like a casual thing, they're just like plastic molded wheels. Is there aftermarket, like something that's actually got rubber on it?
You mean like what's sitting behind you, John?
Yeah, right.
You can throw rubber strips on. You can people modify tires all the time to gain certain things. The most common one I think I've seen is the cushions for shop mats.
Oh yeah.
Peak mat, basically. You cut that.
So they tread them.
Yes.
Like retreading. Yeah.
That's so cool.
There is other tires out there that have like a soft foam core, and people, if they're smart enough, they'll modify them to fit on their ride. If you're crafty, you can build anything. You don't know this. You just got to scale down.
I should open up a kids toy wheel retread.
When you start
company.
adding tread, you have to be aware that you're adding extra
Weight.
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes weight is a good thing, because a plastic wheel is not going to have any traction.
Correct.
So that little extra weight, you get that flywheel effect, and you get that thing to hook and stand up.
Right on.
And what about as far as what do you if you don't mind me asking, what do you as far as money, what do these people end up putting into these things? Thousands and thousands?
Yes, some do. Correct. The Mercedes that I spoke of that isn't even finished, just car parts alone, I've got 1,500 in it, and that's not even the batteries.
Wow. Like any hobby.
Yeah.
I got a lot of my parts from BMI Carts and Parts. There's a guy there that does a lot of custom fabrication of the drive shafts with full keyway, half a keyway, all this good stuff. He's an old school guy, and he does some really great work.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Okay,
Keep
we
that
got the
microphone away from your eye.
Sorry.
we got
It's
the
in front of your
RC
eye.
guy in the
Looks
house.
weird.
Well, I don't want to be breathing heavy into the mic either, like I
There you go.
usually do.
Put it up like mine.
Yeah, I'm trying that. Yeah, because you mentioned all the stuff, the batteries, electronic speed controls.
Losing anything here or not?
He's got everything.
No, because
Yeah.
I'm all into the radio controlled cars. So you start to talk about this stuff. I was like, hey, wait a minute, this guy's talking about stuff I know about. Especially,
You
because
got
I looked up
tires
this
on your shelf.
I got stuff all over the damn place. In fact, I got the drag car
Your
about
tires
3/4
look
built.
look like small versions of my tires.
Well, no, if you want to see. Wait a minute. It's the latest build.
Oh wow, look at that.
Check out the wheelie bar.
Got bead locks, the whole deal.
Yeah,
Nice.
B-locks. I got the Hoosier fronts.
Oh man,
There you go. I got my Hoosier rears
that's
over
what I
there.
see.
22 inches wide.
There you go. I was telling Terry that's what he should put on a Chevelle. He wants to do mini toes. I was like, forget that, man. Put 1432s on the car. Give me a break.
Those are 33.5, 22, 15.
Good Lord.
And mounted on a 15-15 rim. They're 22 inches bulge to bulge.
Can't wait to see those on Jeffrey.
Next week. Unfortunately, my body shop guy's dad passed away from cancer this week.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I know.
sorry.
It's horrible. He's been battling it for 2 years, so they were kind of prepared, but you're never prepared.
No,
No, you're not.
that's thinking cancer, man. It's not prejudice, I'll tell you that.
No,
kidding.
not at all. It's a shame. Nice, super nice guy. Good fabricator, body guy, painter, the whole deal. Helped his son out at the shop for years and whittled down to like 111 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you guys do any competition with the ride-ons?
We had Carissa in a competition for a local fundraiser before COVID happened. She had her first power race, but in our area there wasn't a lot of racing going on, and she's unfortunately 11, not unfortunately 11, but power wheels wise, she's starting to get into gas powered. So we never really got to race a lot, and there wasn't much around here, but unfortunately.
We've definitely reached out to local tracks. We've got the Seekonk Speedway. We've got Thompson Speedway. We've got,
Thompson. Wow.
We've definitely reached out to some of the tracks locally. They're a little apprehensive because, unfortunately, here in New England, we're trying to make it like a thing. And I've been told by one of the head car show guys down here, Rick George, excuse me, where I brought my daughter to the first car show and we got introduced. And I was pretty much one of the first people known to him to even bring a child's ride on to a car show. And I'm like, I couldn't be the only one, obviously, but to his knowledge, it wasn't a thing. And
Not around here.
around here, at least. So we kind of introduced Rhode Island and at least central New England to bringing ride-ons or kids to when their ride-ons, not necessarily kids to car shows, but their ride-ons to car shows. And we started picking up the interest. So the racing clubs around here are kind of like unfamiliar of the whole idea or concept of power wheel racing. So if we can persuade them the right way, I think we can definitely build something up in the future.
You sound just
Awesome.
like the car guys.
It's been
You know
a
what I mean?
great
Like,
experience because with the builds that Josh has built for his daughter, we've taken her to car shows. So she not only gets to bring her show cars in and won a few awards, but then she gets to walk around and look at all the other cars. And she's like, when I'm 16.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like the type of thing.
It's an encouraging thing. And when the other children see her there with hers, they're like, Dad, Mom, whomever they're with, I want to.
Go ahead,
awesome.
Jim.
I'm sorry we didn't hear that.
Oh, no, I was just saying that's the type of thing, the way to promote it is bring them out there and show them off, and people go like, oh, wow, look at that. Daddy, I want that.
Right. Now, you were saying that you wanted to start a blog. I think that's a great idea because then you start to hit everybody around the whole country or the world, really.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
That's a great way to network.
Yeah, it's probably popping everywhere but you're not connected up yet.
And that's a great point. And that's kind of with with Mike and getting introduced to the podcast and such, and networking with folks like yourselves, getting Case Customs name out there. And because then folks like yourself, if you know local tracks or something, hey, you need a part or whatever, they can refer us. And then it's kind of like network grows. Because a lot of folks don't know you can fix these. And unfortunately, they're in their garage or whatever and get disposed of when they could probably be repaired and get a new life.
Yep. You can start out real super easy with a Facebook page.
Yeah, they have one.
Page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have one. We have about a little over 3,000 followers on that one page.
Oh boy. There you go.
Correct. We've definitely had our hands in different
A lot of different
venues.
venues.
Correct.
Yep. We've done local toucher trucks, the Bristol Parade.
Do you travel around different car shows around the United States, though?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've been in the newspaper a few times for Josh's builds. His you don't like me. That's not Mad Max.
Oh, it's the zombie apocalypse.
The zombie apocalypse truck. We were in the local Providence Journal here for Halloween one year.
Took a Nerf gun, took an oscillating fan, and made it so it went back and forth. It was operated off the switch and trigger on the truck. Had a roll cage.
I mean, you could really go full
I've made
blown.
some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure you guys have made some pretty amazing machines yourself.
Yeah.
Arco.
Never used an oscillating fan on anything, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, now my brain's moving.
I got one right here. Maybe I can figure out a way to use it.
There'll be a turret on the top of the next.
Yeah,
car.
the next car she'll want me to build like a Mad Max looking car next.
I think we lost you.
I just want to see all the way around.
That would be great, a Mad Max car.
We can still hear you. I mean, can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Now I'm talking about our guests.
Gentlemen,
Apparently.
ladies.
Yep,
No.
Uh-oh, I'll take the satellites.
We hear you.
I can hear him.
They can't hear us.
Put it in the private chat.
I think they're satellite.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
You hear us.
You
okay,
can hear us.
Okay,
All right, that's
good.
a good thing.
That's awesome.
But you can't hear us?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. This is kind of
Nice.
awkward.
I don't know if we should try to sign back in.
Did they accidentally
Should we
hit
sign
the
back
mic
in?
button?
All right.
They clicked the mic button with the mouse?
Hold on, I
Well,
can
they're
check
not
it.
muted. I mean, we can hear them.
No,
Something
they're
up
on.
with the speakers.
You go like this. You go like that. Clickety click.
That's weird.
Perfect. Yeah, maybe do that.
Who's got a TV going in the background?
Yeah, I've
Jim.
been hearing that the whole time.
Yeah, I thought it was
Not
like
me.
a horse race or something.
Yeah, we thought it was us, and I was looking all over our computer for something that might be
Oh, wait a
playing
second.
something.
I get that every now and then. You click on something and then you go somewhere else and then like a video opens up in the background and you don't know it. And it's like, what the hell is that?
If you've got 500 tabs open, you can't find it. Welcome to my world. I always have the tabs open up here.
Is it working now?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
We're good.
Awesome.
Yay!
all of a sudden, you all froze, and we're like, "What's going on?"
no.
Oh, who knew?
So our buddy at Mill Creek Fab, he is making electric bikes. I'm trying to see if I can find he's gonna make an electric bike. Joey, can you put what you're doing again somewhere in the chat? He's in the chat.
But anyways, Joey from Mill Creek Fab, he's wanting to build some electric bikes. And one of the things I wanted to ask is, are those motors that you're talking about using, I mean, is that the same kind of motor that you use like on an electric bicycle?
Or are they smaller?
though, to my knowledge, electric bicycles are hub motors.
Yeah.
And we don't use hub motors. We use basically RC motors, the same thing this gentleman probably would use with his RC cars at the moment. And then
Only imagine bigger.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Not too many. Your 550 can to 775 can.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's in the same size.
Yes.
Correct. And then
Really? So
It's a pretty
a
small
little
motor.
RC motor can move a kid?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know they made that much torque.
Wow.
You put enough voltage to it, it'll move anything.
Really?
So you know what you need to do now? You need to build a pair of shoes. put a RC motor in each one, and you could go zipping around the block.
It'd be like Back to the Future, the hoverboard, you know?
Right?
I'm putting my pedometer on it so I get the miles.
Right?
That's it.
But in the modified world, people are using hub motors. They're using anything you can power with a battery and put a wheel on to drive these battery-operated cars. I'm not sure if you've heard of the guys that are called Grind Hard Plumbing. They are amazing fabricators. They full custom frame engines out of like a painted sheet, and then they're making
Barbie Jeeps.
and Camaros and Hurricanes.
How did you hear about Barbie Jeeps?
I found those guys. I'm subscribed to them on YouTube actually, and they put some crazy like Hayabusa motors in them and like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yes, sir.
I'm crazy, but they are like way out there.
So are they driving the Barbie Jeeps, or are they putting their children in them?
Oh, they get right in them.
They'll drive them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not they're not putting their kids in
No.
the
A Hayabusa motor on it.
And those plastic wheels, or are they retreads? We're working
There's
on
no real times.
They use real tires. They use the frames a lot to kind of make it funny, and then they add the craziness to it. Bodies,
Yep.
yes, bodies, not the frames. The other thing that happens too with adults when it comes to ride-ons is they do downhill racing, downhill derbies, where they'll get any type of ride-on and they freewheel it, and then these men primarily will just throw themselves down the hill. We've given some bodies to some local people here in Massachusetts and New Hampshire who do downhill racing. It's pretty crazy.
There's a reason
downright
we live
nuts.
longer.
Yes.
Yep.
I've
There you
seen
go.
those videos. They push each other off the road and they get people tumbling. Oh, it's crazy.
That
I'm ready.
sounds fun.
I'm ready to do that right now. We have a perfect hill. Let's do it.
I'll watch.
Years back, he
I'll be the judge.
owned a place, an auto body shop, and he wanted us to start doing something. We've had people reach out to us to try to start these local groups, but yes, last year kind of
2020 for all of us, I'm sure, put some brakes on things. So we're trying to gain that momentum back again.
Oh, yeah.
Right. There's a lot of pause buttons from 2020.
yes, lots of pause.
Yeah.
But it's a whole world,
It's a whole world.
of children's ride-ons. I mean, one particular group on Facebook that we're part of, there's over 100,000 people, and you get people from Australia, Netherlands,
India,
all over the world, asking questions, or can you send
Showing
me
their
this car,
builds.
showing their builds. Like, a lot of people outside the United States don't have the ability to get a hold of the Peg Parago or Power Wheels. So they're
Right.
always trying to figure out how can we get them to them, because they have limited quantity. Where here in America, there's probably over 40 different brands of children's ride-ons, but everybody calls them Power Wheels.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Better than Power Rangers.
Cozy coops that everybody had, and now there's like 15 kind of cozy coops. Do you remember the little play? Could you power one of those?
That's how I started powering a cozy coupe.
Yep. Sweet.
The little tiny
It was
push
a
button.
6-volt Pinkalicious quad, and I modified it and built it inside her cozy coupe.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, we had a black pickup, a cozy coupe, and a Wiggles car at our house.
If it has wheels, we'll run it.
Sweet.
Oh boy.
That's great.
So yeah, my Aspen, she's the only one that actually had herself, and it was a Power Wheels. It was the Barbie Jeep Power Wheels, and first thing she did is she hit the mud with it.
Good girl.
Because it did that.
That's what Jeeps are for.
Yeah, but she was mad because she told me it wasn't like a real Jeep. And she's like, this isn't like a real Jeep, and she got out and stomped away. I'm like, you're acting like a real Jeep owner.
Just empty every pocket.
Oh yeah, but she was only 3, and she's better now.
She needs need the Bigfoot version.
I know. She
Yeah.
should have had that.
I've seen that one. The blue,
That's
the
what I-
original
that's what-
Bigfoot.
Yeah, my kids all had that one.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one that has a high resale value.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Supercharger rolling. If you have a supercharger, you probably fetch $100 for it.
Man, and they used to be
Yeah.
they were all over the place, you know? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Everywhere.
back in the 90s, there was millions of those all over the place, you know?
Mhm.
Yep.
Now,
I'd go to the dump and there'd be
They're everywhere.
people dumping them at the dumps all the time, you
And
know?
like the first thing we heard when we got on and we were backstage was that you guys were saying, you know, the batteries die and people just junk them.
That's what we're trying to avoid, the landfill.
Right. That's
We-
probably where you're going to find a billion of them.
We
Now-
actually recycle for the state, but we also have a couple of transfer stations that will put the ride-ons that people bring aside, and then we go and recycle them or hopefully find.
Oh,
That's cool.
Nice.
That's
We're
so
trying to build
awesome.
that, but that is one way that we grow our business, sell parts that way.
That's a
That's
good
so cool.
connection.
Yeah.
That's
That's it.
awesome.
that's awesome.
Now, what's the most rare car out?
The most, wow.
There's a couple.
There's a
really
handful for sure. There's the PowerTech Slammer. It's a little rat rod machine. That's pretty rare. Let's see the
The Porsche that we were talking
the
about.
Porsche that we were talking about, the 911. That's comes up on the rare category.
What about that old Mercedes convertible? Do you guys remember that one? It was like a silver Mercedes convertible from like years ago.
There's a couple of, I don't know. Well, there's been a few. The Mercedes is a popular body style that ride-ons have been with, especially with, initially there was a pedal car. It was the SL 200 or something like that. The 200 and 300 is a popular body style for that. My daughter's is the Kids Tracks SL 300, which in itself is kind of a rare body. We pulled it out of
A
basement in Bristol or something a few years back. This lady had it. And
Barn
my
find,
daughter
basement
loved it.
find.
Yeah.
Facebook
A real
Live.
bonfire.
So cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
basements. We love
Garage
garages.
barn finds,
Finds.
garages.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
Well, in terms of rare, to across the country, different things have different interest, or we probably didn't see something on the East Coast that was popular on the West Coast, kind of like food and drink. So that's something I've noticed too.
Well, you probably find a bunch of Mercedes in the rich white kids' neighborhoods up in LA, Hollywood.
Yeah,
You know.
I think in the Midwest, the Gauchos,
the Bigfoots.
the Gauchos and the Bigfoots, a lot around here. There's a lot of Jeeps. In New England, occasionally though, we've been fortunate where the Bumblebee was built out of what's considered one of the rare ride-ons out there. The Volkswagen Peg Perigo Magica is what it's called. So we built that. When we decided to do that project, we didn't even have our hand on one. And the original one that we had was so beaten up, but that was kind of what we were going for.
They came from Virginia. We had to bring it, source it from Virginia to even find one.
Because we couldn't find one
Wow.
here locally.
But that's the thing with Volkswagens; they always hold their value,
and then-
whether it's a Hot Wheels or a Power Wheels or whatever. Volkswagen and Cadillac always hold their value.
Yeah.
Lewis
Absolutely.
knows that.
Yeah. All the parts. are
Another
expensive.
rare one that's the Ferrari F40. There's a full version of that, a two-seater by a company called Toy Toys. That fetches a good $1,000 too if you find one of them. Just a kid's car.
Now I'm going to be looking all
The
over
down
place.
payment on a real car.
You can call it home, babe. I found 2 cars.
Yep. Now I got that's just more crap for me to collect, you know.
There you go.
Funny brief story, but she used to get pretty upset when we first started dating. My daughter and I were used to scouting and whatnot, but we were out together, and I'd be like, babe, turn here, stop, turn around, hey, stop. She's like, again. Then after a while, she's the one, hey, go here, go here. 2 weeks ago, you were a complete change of heart because we're finding them in dumpsters. We found one out in Boston. This woman, all I saw was like a pink roll bar, a 60-yard roll-off dumpster. This pink roll bar sticking up. Turn around, poop. Oh yeah, take it out. We fish it out of the dumpster. There's the battery, which was good,
Good, a
and a
charger.
charger inside of it. And the thing was immaculate. Probably never been used. But
Wow.
just in the dumpster, ready to get hauled away.
Wow.
I'm amazed that those little motors will push kids.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Me too.
I had no idea they could do
You can
that.
get it pretty powerful for sure. Again, gearing and torque and all those things all play a big factor.
Oh yeah.
Tire size, how many turns.
Yeah. Well, you see, you learn. Me and Ray were just talking about this. You learn something new every day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. I learned today. That's a good thing.
Now we're all going to be collecting Power Wheels. Watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be
right.
all looking.
Nah.
If you have any
Some
questions,
of us
you know
are
what
going to
you
be
need to.
resetting Power Wheels. Right?
Well, listen, everybody in the chat room or on YouTube, if you find these cars, get a hold of them. You might be able to help them out with cars. You know, send them to them, whatever. You know,
Absolutely.
We'll keep an eye out.
And you might make a buck.
That's it.
We are looking for buyers, so
Right.
I'll keep my eye out. I got shop space.
We love road trips.
absolutely.
Got to come all the way down to Tampa for that one.
That's all right. We'll bring a trailer.
We'll bring a trailer. We got family.
I'll go visit
There
my
you go.
parents.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out to everybody. I'm looking for a camper that goes in the back of a pickup truck. Small.
Slide on.
Yeah, slide on.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that what you
yeah.
call them?
Slide on.
So, like the 8-foot,
Yeah,
the
8
roll up.
foot.
8-foot bed.
Out of the house again, are you, Lewis?
8 foot bed. No, I'm gonna go on vacation and I'm gonna go scout out where I'm gonna take my bus when I build my bus. So me and the wife are gonna just ride for a little bit. So I figured I'd get a small camper, throw it in the back of the truck, and roll.
Yeah. Craigslist, Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Or even like those bidding sites. Check those
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
There might be something there.
Yeah.
Too bad they still didn't have the WAN advertiser. Anybody remember that?
No.
We didn't have that. We
What's
had
that
like
new thing?
yeah.
The
Yeah,
WAN
the
ad.
penny saver.
Look through and everybody would sell their stuff: cars, trucks, boats, planes.
Yeah,
Here in
Yes.
here in New York, we had the bylines and the selling post.
Oh,
and the penny
Auto
saver.
trader.
auto
Yeah,
trader.
penny saver.
Yeah.
Auto trader, yeah. Yeah, go into any gas station. There's or like Wawa gas or like any gas station. They got those free.
Yeah.
Take them. They got all kinds of stuff in there.
I was hoping one of you guys would say I
Never know
got
what
one
you're gonna
behind
find.
the garage, but blew it.
Well, I was just complaining about an overpriced one a little while ago on a Facebook site.
They are high. Some of
I
those things.
figured Ray had one in the basement.
That I don't
Yeah.
know.
Look, I seen one that was like $30,000
I know.
Get out of here!
for a slide-in. I'm like,
What that thing have
And
like a
this is
full
one that
bed with a
was like-
porcelain bathroom and everything?
That better be fully loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one I was looking at was 82.
30,000.
yeah, I'm telling you, some of them are expensive.
Yeah,
Buy
and
you
this
can
is
buy
one
like
that
a
it was
B-class
beautiful.
motorhome for that. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, Mill Creek Fab Shop, you're a dumbass. That's in 2019. It's 2021 if you haven't realized that yet. Come on, Joey.
Wow.
That's our buddy Joey.
That's my buddy. He's just busting our balls.
He's a character. Oh my gosh, but he's the one that's in Ohio as well. So
Yeah, I think he's by you, over by you somewhere, Lewis.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and when we go to visit his sorry ass, I'd like to go visit you too. So
Yeah, he's like an hour from me. He's like north of me.
yeah, how many
Yeah.
miles?
About an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry. You need to move, Lewis. As far away from him as you
oh
can.
my God.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I might be up there this weekend on my bike. He lives up where the bikers go.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
No, he's a good guy though.
He
He's
is.
an awesome guy.
Yeah, I could get a pickup camper for you and bring it to you. That would be awesome.
Yeah, 'cause we have an 8-foot truck. We just put the camper in the back and bring it to you. You know, drop
There
it
you
off.
go.
After I'm done hitting deer.
Well, maybe I'll come your way going to Sema. I might take it out to Sema.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
Oh, that's another thing. I want to talk to everybody who's driving to Sema. I think we're going to drive because I got 2 weeks vacation. The Sema week and then the week after.
Yeah, we always drive everywhere we go. Yeah, not a fan of the flying.
I
like
love flying, but we just want to do something different. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
Nah,
Well,
nah.
it's too much
I got
country
plans. I got to get there.
yeah.
I got stuff to do. I got to hitting the drag strip, going razor karting out in the desert.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That'd be
That's
fun.
awesome. I got stuff to do.
Okay.
Besides Sema.
You want to get there as soon as possible so you can.
I already
just
made
start
my
partying.
reservations, man. We're going back to what's that hotel I stay in? I forget.
Bellagio.
No.
Bellagio. No.
What was it?
The Bellagio? No.
No,
The
Venetian.
big money one.
Venetian.
Venetian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already got the suite hooked up, done.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're in.
Yeah, I was checking the price at Motel 6.
I am all about the shady ass hotels off the strip.
See, my wife puts up with the car stuff, but you know,
You gotta take her
she don't
somewhere
mind if she's going to Vegas. She'll put up with the car crap. She likes to go to the drag strip. She likes walking around Sema a little bit, but she wants to do other stuff. So she's already got the shows lined up at night where we're gonna go and
Nice.
the whole nine
Hey.
yards. But got to stay in a nice place and eat at nice restaurants. So it's a $4,000 weekend.
Yeah.
I can't
We got
handle
the-
that many people. I want to go hide after the day is over. I want to go back to my shady hotel room with the other shady people, the hookers and the crackheads. Lock my door.
There's plenty of that there.
He intimidates them. It's all fine. Don't worry about
Hey,
it.
as long as you know what lane you're in, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I'm just like, just get me out of the people. Like,
Fremont Street. You got to go
Yeah, right.
Fremont Street. Halloween
Yeah.
night.
This is pretty cool.
2
Listen.
years ago, we went on and we stayed at Binion's right there on Fremont Street just to do that old school kind of deal.
Mhm.
And
man.
it was Halloween. So you come down into Binion's, casino and walk right out by the bar and you're right there on Fremont. It was Freak City. I got all these photos of my wife with some skanky looking old guy dressed like an angel, and then there was some stripper with tape over her boobs, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's pretty bad.
Weird stuff going on there.
They
on
love
Halloween.
Fremont.
Isn't that Vegas
Yeah.
any day?
Well, yeah, kind of, but Fremont Street on Halloween is insane.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
like
is.
I come from Stockton, California, and you don't go on Fremont Street. That's like
Yeah.
at midnight they're sweeping the bodies up. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
that's the place
Yeah.
you don't go to.
Yeah, Vegas Fremont Street Halloween will leave your mind scarred for life. Seriously. Some weirdness there.
Hey, John, when you're at the drag strip,
Yeah.
are you going to Shelby's? You got to go see Shelby's.
Yes.
Take a tour. Yeah,
Yes,
take a
yes.
tour to Shelby's. It's pretty tough, man.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, John, how far is the drag strip from SEMA, from the actual event? SEMA?
15-minute ride.
Oh yeah,
enough,
10, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to that.
You come out of SEMA, you get on the strip, and
Go north.
head towards the airport.
Yeah.
But you just keep going. The same street. Just don't make the turn to go to the airport. Just keep going straight another 3 or 4 miles, and then bam, there it is. You'll see the circle track. You'll see the road course and the drag strip. It's all right there. You can't miss it.
Yeah, can't miss
And
it.
then if you go about another 10 miles past that, there's a couple of containers behind a fence out in the middle of the desert. And that's where those razors are.
Oh,
And
cool.
you sign up for that, and they take you out in the desert. You go on a trail. It's 4 hours. You're banging around in this razor, going 60 miles an hour in the desert, trying to avoid cactuses and tumbleweeds. It's awesome. Totally cool. You know what's really cool? There's some huge. It's like the base of the mountains. You start to climb, and it gets cold. You go around the backside, and it's like a 30-degree temperature drop.
Wow.
Because that's the way the desert is. It's either crazy hot or crazy cold.
It is winter.
Nuts. We had a time of our lives, man. It was totally
That
awesome.
sounds like fun.
You need a kidney belt on that thing. I mean, you get banged around. Oh, unreal. You're wearing a full drag race harness in these things, and they go like 65 miles an hour.
Right.
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome.
nuts. They're absolutely nuts. You got helmets with radios, and you're talking amongst each other and then to the other cars. It was really, really good money spent on that ride. That was fine.
That's fun. Yeah, we have a lot of.
I want to do that again.
We got to get one of those.
Yeah.
Because my whole family has them. Like, we just
The other thing I want to do there is at the what is it, Bondurant has that road course there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that sounds
You
fun.
can you can drive like exotic stuff there. If you want to drive a Ferrari, you want to drive a Cobra, you want to drive a Daytona. You do it. You get out on the road course and zip around.
Oh my God.
Just don't roll it.
Yeah.
You signed the waiver anyways, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
God, that sounds like fun.
A bad day, you roll it.
Oh boy.
That would be a good time.
Yeah.
Now, when you say
my Chasey has wanted to talk to me about 500 times, that's why I have to keep leaving. He's I don't know. He popped in here and said hi, I think, before. I'm not 100% sure.
So we're gonna get the heck out of here. So
That's my boy with autism, and we have a funny story because he's bugged us for how long? Like 4 hours for a Reese's peanut butter cup. And I got him a Reese's peanut butter cup, and he brought it back to me. Apparently, it wasn't the right
I love
one.
those.
we wanted the
Easter eggs.
Reese's. Yeah.
Oh, the eggs.
Come on, Mom. What the heck, Mom?
Those are the best.
He was mad. So I don't know. I tried Oreos. I tried all kinds of stuff.
Nice meeting you guys.
Oreos double
Hey,
stack.
Arco,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a hold of you sometime this week, or maybe this weekend. I'm going to holler at you.
Yeah. Give me a call or whatever, because I got to tell you about that Cadillac too.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right, brother. Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Take care. See you.
Tolerating me.
See ya. Hey, check out the deal I got today. I found it on Facebook Marketplace the other night. 2-inch drop spindles.
Ooh.
Really?
Nice.
70 to 81 Camaro Firebird. This is like the pair is like $400. $100.
Oh, my goodness.
A nice young kid that I met through this.
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah, because you beat him on the head.
No. He advertised them on Facebook Marketplace. $100 for the pair. He's moving to Arizona.
Wow.
Bought him for his 79 Camaro. And he didn't have the right kind of wheels. He had like short stuff.
Mhm.
And the frame was like that far off the ground. He had shorter springs. He just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So he took them out and he put the stock spindles back in, and he's loading a car on a trailer to take it to Arizona. So he advertised them, and it was weird because I was just kind of scrolling through, and he had posted them like an hour before, and I sent him a message. I'll take him, and he's in Sarasota, which was on my way to Fort Myers today. So he's an auto mechanic. He works at a nice shop. I went over there. I gave him the money, and
Nice.
now I got a set of $400 drop spindles for $100.
Nice score.
Yeah,
You'll look
absolutely.
that up somewhere else.
Great deal.
So yeah. So these will work out real well with the tubular upper and lower control arms. I'm gonna
We
put on
keep
the car.
losing you guys. We might have to
Over.
I'll have to leave and come back.
drop out. No.
Well,
We can hear you right now.
I
Yeah,
hear
we
you
can hear
fine.
You okay now?
They don't
You
hear
hear
us.
They don't hear us again.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it's time for me to go to bed. People.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
So,
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Ray, are you co-host?
I am, but I'm probably not. It's the co-host deal, so I'm probably not going to stay. I don't think we've
Can you hear
resolved
us?
that yet.
No, I meant with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. We'll wait for it to come back on.
All right, Ray, I'm going to jump off, guys. And Ray got the helm. Hopefully it'll stay on for you guys.
We'll
You
see
can
how
hang
long it lasts, right?
out. Yeah,
All right.
Start the stopwatch.
Yeah, right.
yeah. Hey, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next week. And I'll let you know who's going to be on the show. You know.
Very good.
Very cool.
All right, take care, Lewis.
All right, thanks.
See you. Good night.
Now I got to figure out how to cut myself off.
Click leave.
Hit the leave button.
Hit the leave button.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. By the way, it's nice meeting you guys. That was a very fun conversation. They can't hear me. They can't hear me. Oh well. Oh well. If they do come back on, let them know they were cool. Oh, they're gone already.
Oh, they're gone.
Well, they might be coming back.
Maybe they'll come back.
Hey, Brian, I saw something. I think it was probably on Instagram. Matco was putting out. It was a swivel, like a universal socket on an extension, and they were black. It was a set of 4
sockets. Those were they might be the drive shaft.
I think they were 1/4-inch drive, though. I think they were small. It was for, I saw it quick, and I said, yeah, I'm not, it didn't catch my attention. And then a couple days later, I said, you know what? I got to look for that, because now I had cause to use one, of course, and I said that, and now I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
They were black 1/4-inch, you said?
Yeah, they were definitely black, and I think they were 1/4-inch. I guess
they were swivel, because I know that we have a set of 4 drive shaft socket. I mean, extension. It has a built-on extension with a swivel on it.
Yes, correct.
And there is I think it's 8 or. We do have some extra long 1/4-inch sockets. I mean, right? I don't have it here. I have one out in the truck.
Now, if you get some information on it, send it to me if you get a chance.
Yeah, no problem.
My list is getting longer here.
Oh, that's
Christmas
good.
list.
I was looking at the TPMS tester too. The MD Max TPMS 28. That looks like it's nice.
Yeah.
But does that couple with the scan tool, or is that a standalone?
Well, it's standalone, but there are times, like some of the Japanese cars, you need the scanner to get inside so that you can get the the TPMS tool to work.
Got it.
So that's why, when they say standalone, usually when it's standalone, that means it has the OBD2 connector so that you plug in and do that, where you don't need the other scanner.
Yeah.
But that's why, like I said, that's why even like with some guys buy the big scanner and they say, "Oh, I can do TPMS," but you're not learning or reprogramming any actual sensors. You're just getting the code or
just reading. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of complicated, just like with keys.
Yeah.
Programming keys and doing keys. That's a whole worm, because, it's like, well, I can do this car line, but I can't do that car line. Or if you lose a set of keys, you still need the factory. You need to go back to the dealer to have them programmed, because you can't do that part of it.
Right.
So
let me ask you a question. The keys on my GMC. Is that thing like constantly transmitting or something?
Yeah.
It's weird. Today I had to get in the truck, so I was standing kind of more towards the bed because I was reaching for the lock button on the back door. When you hit the button, it unlocks the door, but it didn't until I moved more in front of the door handle. Then it unlocked. So I'm like, is there sensors in the door that are picking up that key, or?
I know it's a RF signal.
Yeah, it should be RF, right?
Yeah, it's a RF signal, and I know that technically, if I understand you correctly, it's a certain distance. That's why, like, if the car's running and you get out.
Yeah, if I get out and I walk around to the back. I can walk around with the truck running. I can go around, get out of the truck, go around to the back to the tailgate, anywhere in the vicinity of the rear of the vehicle. When I leave my shop, I got to pull through the gate and then put the truck in park and then go back and close and padlock the gate. If I get about 6 to 8 feet away from the tailgate, the horn goes, bah, bah.
Yeah.
tells me, what's going on. Your car's running, but I don't see the key.
Right.
Yeah. Those things, like I said, I don't know when they go to sleep, or I know eventually they have to go to sleep. I mean, because they would go dead in a more.
Well, I know on my wife's Mercedes, she just told me tonight. She says, "I got a warning on the dashboard says that the key battery's getting low."
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we used to have.
Got to change that.
The back on when I was at the dealership, we would have keys. Like if you never used them, if it was so long, then they went to sleep, and you had to go back in and wake them up because they were dead. They wouldn't go. So I don't know about all the newer stuff. Of course, this was all 25 years ago.
Yeah,
we had those key modes back then.
It's just it's strange because it does a lot of stuff that I'm like, all right, this is odd. And you're near the door, you can lock, you can unlock, not an issue. I can have the driver's door open. I can put my right leg in and hit the brake pedal, push the brake pedal down, and then reach under the steering column and hit the start button, and it won't start. I got to put my fat ass in the seat, and then it'll start, even though the door's open.
Maybe could be like a.
I don't know. There's like some sort of proximity sensor with it, or
could be the weight sensor in the seat, right? They want to see a body.
Weight sensor. Yeah.
Oh, a sensor that shows that there's weight in the seat. I didn't think about that. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try leaning on the seat and doing
it's just
that.
like the passenger airbag. If you don't have someone in the right seat, a lot of times,
you get the light says it's off.
The airbag is disabled, right? Because it doesn't send, and that has to be calibrated sometimes. I know my Mazda, my daughter is, she weighs like nothing, and it wasn't tripping it. So I think you can go in and do a recalibrate on it. You have to have known weight. Calibrated weight, because you have to have a standard. So yeah,
they did that for those car seat stuff or kids. If you have a in the front, whatever one, that type of stuff. But that's the same thing about your starting the car. If they don't see a sensor, or
I didn't think about this,
or it's wired into your seatbelt.
I like hardly ever wear seatbelts in that thing. Yeah. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's risky, but I got airbags all around me. If I whack something, I'm just floating around the bags.
Just floating around.
The way I look at it.
Or you just go out to the junkyard and clip it into the seatbelt and keep inside so it doesn't and go off.
Mine, the good thing is mine will beep and then it stops.
Oh.
I'll tell you, that's the cool thing I realized about driving this FJ. The windshield is so far in front of me, I'll never hit it. I don't even think if I didn't have a seatbelt, I don't think I could hit it. I did put a GPS on there a couple weeks ago, and I literally had to lean as far as I could just to touch the thing. It's that far away.
That's cool.
So, yeah, all vehicles are different. The truck, they're pretty weird like that. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I got my first COVID shot.
Did you?
Last week, yeah.
Okay.
My wife got her first one 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
She's a teacher.
Right.
And then my governor, he's like, I'm lowering the limit. Now it's, it was 60 and over. Before it was 65 and over, so I couldn't get it unless you were first responder, teacher, that kind of stuff, doctor, nurse. And then he dropped it down to 60. And we have this awesome supermarket company, Publix.
Oh, yeah.
Huge in Florida. And they're located literally the next town over here is their corporate headquarters. So they're hooked up with Advent Health. And they actually have a little Advent Health office right next to the pharmacy in every single Publix. So they made an announcement that you can start getting vaccines there. And you just go on and you log on. 7 o'clock in the mornings when they open it up. So I said, I'm going to try it. 7 o'clock came. I logged on to their website and I got an appointment. And I went on Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
I've heard
and I'm
from
like, this is awesome. I rolled in there. They took my name. I sat down for like 2 minutes. The girl goes, all right, go over there. And this young guy came out from Advent Health, and he stuck the needle in my arm. And then when he pulled the needle out, I started shaking. And he was like, ah! I'm like, I just kidding.
You dick. I gotta tell you, from the family I have in Florida, the family in Florida has all been raving about how easy it is to get the shots in Florida. Yeah. Now up here, our governor has been saying, of course, now he's saying anything to keep the public away from his real scandals. My wife's been calling like crazy and can't get an appointment anywhere, and they're saying, everything's opening up. It's like,
So for a week, he had dropped it from 65 and older. Then he dropped it to 60 and older.
Yeah, we're 50 and older now.
Now this week, it's 16
and
older.
Wow.
So everybody can get it. That's how good Florida is.
Yeah. I believe that. That's what I've been hearing.
It's crazy here because, they open it up and then we have these mass sites, to go to, and it seems kind of funny that everybody that's gotten or makes their appointment, it seems like it's always the furthest place from where you live. It's like everybody that I talked to said, I had to drive 4.5 hours to the mountain to go, and I had to go 2.5 hours this way.
We've got them everywhere, and now they just opened one. There was an announcement on the local news channel the other night. They opened up 6 vaccination centers that you don't even need an appointment. You just roll in.
Yeah.
So Florida they're like, you know what? Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Not a problem. But then you still got issues like Miami's a big problem, and they had all of that crap with spring break.
Oh, and I tell you,
shooting kids. It was like
I've been seeing on TV are not college students.
No, they're a bunch of idiots.
And my daughter's going down on tomorrow, Saturday morning. She's going down. We talked her out of Miami, but they're going.
Miami said, "Don't come."
No, they're going to Fort Lauderdale.
Miami, the mayor of Miami has instituted a policy. They are closing the bridges. You're not getting in unless you actually live there.
Good.
They're going to do that for the next couple of weeks because this thing just turned total chaos.
Yeah, we talked her out of Miami about a couple of weeks ago, and she ended up booking a room in Fort Lauderdale. So that's where she's going.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale's good. I've been there.
Yeah.
Unreal. So I talked to my body guy yesterday. I called him up, talked to him for about an hour about his dad because I met the guy a couple of times, Yeah. So anyway, he's working on the car. He had some stuff going on last week that he had to get done, and I was a little upset over that. But he's like, next week I'll be on it. And then I said to my wife, I said, I got the luck. I said, I don't think his old man's going to last another week or so. He's in bad shape. But he's been working on it. Monday morning, he got there at 7 o'clock. He shot a picture. He had pulled all the panels back off the car. Yeah. So he's doing what he's got to do, and he's cutting away more metal that I asked him to cut away, and he's working on it. So
it's probably good
next week for sure. I will definitely have the car back.
It's good therapy for him too to be working and using his hands.
I know. Yeah, he needs to. So he's promised me you'll have it next week. You'll have it. Don't sweat it. It'll get done.
Yeah.
I was like,
Brian, did Marty get back to you yet about your shade?
My shade
for the truck, the sunshade.
No.
All right, I forwarded that last email I got from him. I forwarded to you too. I included you on it. I copied you on it. Yeah, he's supposed to be getting in touch with you about that.
Oh yeah, it'd be awesome. I'm curious because I know a lot of guys. Like I said, a lot of guys. Hopefully, if I get one, and there's a lot of guys that like them. I used to have a sunshade, but it just got to be a pain in the butt folding it up, unfolding it, trying to find a place to put it in the truck.
Of course, yeah.
The only issue that I see with it, and it could be, and the only person that would ever give you a hard time would be the DOT guy.
I don't know. Yeah, why do you think?
because it's not factory, it's not original, it's not supposed to be on. So
okay. Well, you know what?
I mean,
You can remove it really easy. The brackets stay in the window, and the shade you just kind of pull in the center, and it just releases. It releases from the brackets, and you take them off. It's super easy.
Yeah. I had tenant windows on the side because that Isuzu is a big old fishbowl.
Yeah.
And I had tenant windows, and they weren't that dark, and it's not, can't have it. Take it off.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. And it was only, it was like, what is it? It was something like 38 or 40. It was real light. You know, I just
can't
did it.
believe that they're like such a pain in the ass. I see guys with tractor trailers on the highway with that stainless steel eyebrow that is like straight down. That literally the guy's got a slot like this to look out the windshield. Yeah. And I'm like, how does DOT not complain about that?
Oh, they probably do. It's a game.
Yeah. Because it's so funny, like you see like a conventional Pete or Kenworth with that thing on it. Yeah. And right away, what do you think of? You think of the cartoon Cars.
Oh yeah.
Because it looks like having a set of eyes,
Yeah.
Looks like what's his face from Rusty's.
Mater.
Yeah.
Mater, but the guy that was it was the guy from Cheers was the voice. He was the tractor trailer that the car would go in.
Right.
Yeah.
The Rusty's truck.
Yeah. No, I thought about the same thing with mine because, like I said, man, that sun on that truck, man, everything heats up and just wearing.
That's
so, but it's a pain. But it's the games we play.
Yeah.
So Ray, I got a question. I don't know. I'm trying to decide. It's going to be expensive. On these things here, they're set up for the stock single piston, that single piston caliper.
Yeah.
But I just found out that Willwood makes a bolt-on 6-piston to replace that big single piston GM one.
All right, I got bolt-on Willwood 4 pistons on my car.
Yeah.
That bolt right in. So yeah, that's the.
Well, with these, to use an aftermarket kit, you got to cut the ears off.
Uh-huh.
And then they use these holes to mount the caliper mount.
Right.
But now they came out with a floating 6-piston.
Perfect.
But they're pretty pricey.
Well,
so I was just trying to figure out. If I'm recreating the original car, then it's got stock GM single pistons on there.
This didn't take too long. If I want to
stop better, I could, get that new style.
This didn't take too long. They are bragging about your $100 score. And what did I say? You're going to spend it on something else. So there you go. Exactly. You already did.
That's what I was thinking.
That's always, you know what? It's just the up and down balance. You save here, but you spend there. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it all works out.
Yeah.
It does.
You know what? At the end of the day.
Well, I want the car to stop real good. It's, that stock single piston works real well when you got power brakes.
Yeah, sure.
So that's one of the things that I was like, well, the original, I had manual. I got rid of the power booster and went manual.
I'm running mine manual.
And still used that big single piston caliper.
I'm running mine manual as well.
Right, but I'm putting the power brake booster back in the car this time.
Okay. All right.
So I'm like, I don't have to spend any money really other than getting 2 brand new, replacement single piston calipers.
That's something I'm doing now at the shop. I got the Grand National back and the electro boost, the electrical boost for the brake system finally took a crap. So you do is you don't replace it. You can't. You just take it out, you put it in a booster and a master. Problem is you can be vacuum compromised because of the boost of the turbo. So I saw a guy was running this an electric vacuum motor he got from Jegs on the fender well to create.
That's what they use to create vacuum on a diesel car.
So they decide that they want me to put it together the way it is. Let the guy drive it and see if he likes it or if he can deal with it, and if not, then we'll retrofit this vacuum motor, the vacuum pump rather. So that's the next project.
That's cool.
One of the next projects.
No, I got to make the decision on that once
Yeah.
I get everything going. I mean, I'm spending a bunch of money on upper and lower tubular control arms.
I mean, they've come
Cardio-
down a lot too.
Yeah, but I'm going, with that coil-over system that goes in there.
Right.
So
Whose arms? Whose arms are you looking at?
I'm probably going to use the ones from oh man, why do I always forget the name of this company? I'm worse than Biden.
AQ1,
QA1. That's it.
QA1.
AQ1. What the hell? Where did you
No,
get that from?
QA1.
Well, I knew it was QA1 and AQ1.
Yeah.
I have a full house of QA1 shocks in my car. The aluminum shocks. They're nice.
Yeah.
But, I ended up going with Global West tubular control arms, upper and lower in the car. But there's a lot of companies now. Everybody's knocking them off. The only thing that would scare me about the knockoffs, because they're a lot cheaper, is were they really jigged right and welded right?
Yeah.
Well,
the good companies, there's good stuff.
Yeah, the good ones, right.
Right. The good companies. QA1's real good, and I like the size of the tubing that they use.
Yeah.
And they're very adjustable.
Yeah, mine's pretty fat. There was another company called Spawn Racing out of PA.
Yes, Spawn's good.
I'm using
Spawn
their
makes good
control
stuff.
arms. I got their control arms in the back of the car.
Yeah. There's also
They do a lot of F-body stuff.
there's a local company here, BMR.
Okay.
And they're local. Literally local right here. The guy that owns the company lives about 8 miles away.
Save on
And
shipping.
Evan Smith is like, dude, you should start coming to some of these cars and coffees that we hang out at, because he goes to all of them.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, I'll introduce you. Maybe he'll cut you like a killer deal
Right.
for your car. So there's an idea there. But
Yeah.
I looked at his, and it's thinner diameter, smaller diameter tubing.
Okay.
So I don't know. I haven't physically seen them in my hand to see if I really like them.
Well, it could be a thinner diameter, but it could be a different material too. So it could
Be a heavier wall.
Yeah, it could be stronger. It can stack up. Just it's thinner.
The QA1 is more adjustability in terms of caster and camber, though.
The nice thing is
On the
about
upper arm.
Yeah,
the
a
one,
lot more.
you don't need it. You don't need it in your car because the suspension is good. But like in my 65, that suspension was archaic when it was new.
Right.
And Global West came out with what they call the negative G control arm. And what it does is the camber, a modified camber curve is built into the control arms.
Right.
So basically, it changes the camber curve drastically. And the car literally just stays freaking flat. It does. It just stays flat.
That's awesome.
So you couldn't do that with, I watched some videos and read some articles, and they showed the whole articulation of the original knuckle and the control arms and how it'll lean. And this one it's designed not to, and it doesn't. You don't have that problem though, because the F bodies, everybody's using the F body stuff in the other
they're pretty
cars.
good.
Anyway.
They have a tendency to camber out when they, like if you were to pull a wheelie, to drop out.
Right.
Whereas like a Nova goes in. They come out at the bottom, they go in at the top, but a Camaro Firebird, they have a tendency to drop out on the top.
Yeah.
It's like the arm swings at such a large arc.
Well, keep
But
the wheelies
that arc
around.
is, well, this car won't wheelie. And with the coil-over shock, you can kind of limit the amount of dropout movement.
Right.
So it changes that. So I did some math. I used to run a 26-inch tire on that car with I used the Moroso trick springs.
Right.
But what I did was, because this was when I was working at ATV, I was able to swap stuff. I brought the car to the shop and did it. I didn't use the recommended lightweight big block spring. I wound up using the medium weight small block spring. But the car had that steel-headed big block in it.
Yeah.
So that let the car drop down to the point where it was want to touch the snubber.
Oh wow.
So what I did was I took the stock, those like weird looking shaped snubbers out of the lower control arms, and we put traction bar snubbers from Lakewood.
Oh, sure,
there.
bigger. Yeah.
Right, taller. So literally the car sat on the snubbers, and then they would kind of squeeze a little bit.
Nice.
But it left enough room that the car sat low.
Yeah.
And it worked out well, and I wasn't whacking the headers, on curbs and, going up and down driveways, things like that. So I think what I'm going to wind up doing with this is I'll go with the upper and lower tubulars, put the coil over in there, and get the system set up to basically stock height. In other words, turn the coil up so that the control arms are where they would normally be on a non-modified car. Then you got this 2-inch drop spindle. That's going to lower the whole thing down 2 inches.
Yeah.
And I found 28-inch tall front runner tires with a 3.5-inch rim. So I'll put a 28-inch tall tire on the front to keep the car from rubbing on the ground.
Yeah, that's tall.
And it's a tall tire. It's 2 inches taller than what I used to run. But that'll compensate for the 2-inch spindle. And what that'll do is that'll allow the tire to sit up inside the fender.
Yeah.
So the car will look like it's totally like airbag slammed.
I'm just thinking I'm running 29s in the rear. So, 28s in the front.
Well, those are 33. Those things are 33.5.
Right.
And,
I just now you're making
almost half of the tire will be up inside the fender.
You're making me think now about, my wife was telling me the other day, we're driving the FJ. She goes, what's going to be like when you get in the Fiat again? You have to drive in this thing. Because we went shopping at the supermarket, and, there were the spots nose to nose, but there was a couple of the spots had a light stanchion with a big, like, diamond-shaped thing of concrete, so it imposes on 4 spots. So you can put a small car.
Yes.
And that's where I parked, So we're going to go and leave, and there was nobody in front of me. So she goes, you better watch out. There's traffic in the aisle. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. I put it in drive. I start going forward. She goes, what are you doing? There's a concrete. I said, nah, there's nothing that gets in my way anymore. I said, I just drive over it. I don't, you didn't even feel it, It was just like, whoop.
There you go.
Like, you're an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I know. I love it. I'm loving it.
One of the stops I go to, there's a black one. I think it's black. Yeah, black one.
And now you're being followed.
It looks like it's raised up.
A lot of guys do 3-inch lifts on them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the picture. The picture I sent you with the blue one that was behind me.
That's wild.
It was like the movie from Bullet. You know what I'm saying? I looked up. I was like, God, these things are everywhere, man. I can't.
My daughter, they went down to Atlantic City and got engaged this past weekend. Thank God, finally. So, as she was talking like, Dad, now I'm seeing the FJs. We saw them all over the place. I'm like, yeah, Brian, my friend Brian too. So I showed her the picture. I said, how about this? She's like, oh my God, that's freaky. Brian sent me a picture, John, of a blue FJ in his rearview mirror following him. That's the color he likes. Like, yeah.
Everywhere I turn around, there's especially the blue ones, man. That voodoo blue is going to put a spell on me, man.
Man, they start following you, and it's like it gets into
I tell you,
the system.
crazy.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh God, you should see what coming home today. A guy comes onto I-75 with a sporty Lexus. I don't know what model. This thing was candy apple blue.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's the perfect color, as it's one of the colors on the 81. I'm like, that's awesome. We got into traffic and he wound up next to me. I waved at him. I said, is that custom paint? And he goes, nope, stock. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, 1 year only. I wrote it down in my 2016. It was the only year Lexus offered that color blue.
Nice. Yep. Nice.
So I made sure I put the note. So when I
go
to get the car painted,
what was that? Was that
like an ES something or a?
Yeah, that was like a little two-door.
Two-door, yeah, a little sporty two-door.
Yesterday, Tuesday, when I was in the Lexus dealership, there was one sitting in the shop.
Yeah. That blue is awesome.
That blue is awesome. Yep.
Totally awesome. I'm like, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
So I'm already thinking towards the paint on the other car.
Yeah, it's like a ES. Is a 320? No, what is it?
320. Yeah, I didn't bother to write down the model number. I just figured, look, if I got the year, I can find the paint.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this one was a candy apple blue, and it had like a brown, like a baseball leather interior in the car.
I had gray interior, gray and black.
Yeah, this one
nice.
was
the only thing
like
I don't like about Lexus
brown.
is they've got that weird looking.
Yeah,
grill.
that hourglass grill. I know.
That
Yeah,
thing is ugly.
I don't like
I
it
don't
either.
like that grill at all.
Yeah.
And they use it on every single model. That's their
know.
thing, you know. Like
And then
Jeep has their own deal.
Well, that the Euro guys started the Europeans and the German guys started that back in the late '80s. They all started doing that, and that was to recognize the front of the car. You knew what it was.
Yeah.
And Porsche and Audi and BMW, because they had the little grill sets and everything like that, and they all started that, and then of course it kind of spread into all these other cars are trying to have that
right
where they all look the same. They all know that's that car or that make or that model, I guess you said.
I got to get a new stool out here. These are horrible. My butt and my back hurts after a while. It's one of these ones I bought from Northern Tool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look at it. It was a little chilly the other day. I busted out my one-off Willie's from Hell Chassis Connection hoodie.
Oh, cool. Nice.
This is a car I built and gave
a little
away.
chilly, pansy.
Yeah. It was 46 degrees.
Oh my God. Oh. Wrap it up, John. Wrap it up. Don't.
46 degrees. I'm not even wearing a coat. I'm wearing just like a flannel shirt. That's it.
But you see that?
46. 36. I'm wearing a flannel shirt.
It's okay, tough guy.
It's got all those 80s colors on it there, John.
That's how we gave it away.
That's all the 80s colors. That's nice.
Yeah. It was Pepto-Bismol pink and blue.
Right.
And it looked like big drips.
Right.
Looked like somebody had a blue Willys and somebody threw a can of pink paint at it.
Okay.
That was a great giveaway, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
We built a whole car, nitrous motor, everything, and one guy won it. And he still has it to this day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He modified it, though. I built it looked like a pro mod with a big giant wing on the back and, the whole 9 yards. He took all of that off and he put stock type panels back on it. There's a place in upstate New York, Willie's Works. Makes these fiberglass bodies. So he bought pieces and he put it back to being a stock. I guess that was a 40, 41.
Okay.
Willie's. Yeah. So it's trying to think of what color it is. I think it's like a candy red now. He lives in Deer Park.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was a project car that we built. It was great. I had all these sponsors. Had tire companies and chassis engineering sent us a bunch of chassis pieces, and Coney shops, and the whole 9 yards. Had a local guy build the engine. Yeah, we gave it away. So that was a fun car to build. So he had his this sweatshirt is from like 1990.
Yeah.
I hardly ever wear it. It's like in totally mint condition. My wife's like, "Why are you wearing that? You're gonna destroy it." I'm like, I need something. It's cold out. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Not cold enough to turn the heat on though, but it was cold.
Yeah.
But then by like 10 o'clock, it was 80 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, we took a walk up to 7-Eleven. I had to get a coffee and some yodels this afternoon and drag my wife out of the house. And I said, it was beautiful today. And it was gorgeous. I said, my friend John, this is what he was harping about a month ago, what it was like in Florida. I said, now we finally got it. But, we were going to do some chicken wings on a barbecue. And by the time it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock came around, and you could see it was almost like a haze outside. Oh, it was mist or haze. And the temperature was just dropping right off again. It's 51 outside. That's not bad. It felt it was a nip in the air.
Today it got up to like 89.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be like 70 tomorrow here. It's supposed to be
That's
real
good.
We got some wind because there was rain below.
Don't you have some sort of storm heading your way?
No, there's a ton of rain below us, but they're saying on the news it's not going to hit us. We're going to get a lot of wind.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain on the way home today. They said we were going to have a shower, but tomorrow is supposed to be really nice. It'll be great for a Friday.
Right. I had a weird dream the other day. I woke up in the morning, and I drove down, Brian, to see you, to hang out with you, and yet you had this big porch on your house, like an enclosed porch, and you had your computers in there and shit. We're doing like some podcasting or some shit in this on the porch, and then you asked me like if I brought the air conditioner. I'm like, what? I forgot. Oh, I got an air conditioner I was supposed to bring for you. I'm like, oh, I forgot it. I can't believe it. And you're like, oh man, that's bumming me out. I was like,
man,
weird.
Drinking in your coffee.
It was strange, man. I know. It was weird.
Cafe Bustelo.
Yeah. We just went to the new Lidl that opened up, the new food store, and they have a nice display of Bustelo. And El Pico, that's another good one.
Yes.
We just had one open up our way too.
Yeah, we had to go check it out. You can make those in the an espresso machine. That stuff is so fine.
Yeah. I wanted to get Cafe Bustelo. Me and my Barb were about 2 weeks ago. We were at the restaurant supply. I had to pick up some stuff to feed Shaq's eels. And we're going to restaurant supply and get that. And then we were walking down the aisle. She was looking for some things she needed. And then I saw the big, we're talking like a gallon paint can size of Cafe Bustelo. Right. I'm like, oh, we should buy this. This is such great coffee. She's going, no way, too strong.
Nah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy myself my own Mr. Coffee, and I'll have that in the morning on my own.
So there we are in the Lidl, and there's another guy and his wife, and and my wife says to me, that guy's, what's he checking you out? What's he like scoping you up? I'm like, that's Sammy. She's like, who? Sammy. I'm like, Sammy. That guy was my first Snap-on dealer. I said, 40 years ago. I said, he lives 2 blocks from me, and every time I did the car show, and like he always forgets that he knows me, but I think he always like kind of half remembers because he was like aisle by aisle. He's like, looking at me. And, wearing a freaking mask, so you can't really tell. So she goes, well, why don't you talk to him? I said, I'm waiting to break into his basement. I know a basement in his house is stocked with old tools, man. I said, I want to get in there. I said, no, what I would do is on the way home, a lot of times I cruise by his house in the GTO, and he always looks up. He's a car guy. He's a Corvette guy. So the exhaust always gets his attention. So now the car's painted, he's not going to recognize it again. But I'm waiting. This summer, I'll stop, and I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to tell him, if he doesn't remember who I am off the bat, I'll tell him, you wanted to buy this car for me like 37 years ago. I was selling my Camaro, the one I should have kept, the big block Camaro. I said, but you saw my Pontiac and you wanted the goat. I said, and I told you it wasn't for sale. So if that doesn't spark his memory, what I did is back in the day, Snap-on, they still sell the Kershaw knives. So I bought a Kershaw buck knife from them 40 years ago. And the deal was, it was like guaranteed for life. And he told me, he says, listen, take the knife, buy the knife, and then wait a couple months, 4 months, whatever. He goes in and put in a claim. He goes, and they'll send you a brand new one. So they did. I had a brand new one sitting down here in the leather case, in the box, unopened for 40 years. And I just found it, and the receipt is in the box, handwritten. His name is on it. So what I did is I threw it in the console of the Pontiac, and when I stopped and dropped that little tidbit on him, I'm going to show him that. I'll say, let me show you something else. I'm going to hand him that box and have him open it up, and he'll see his own receipt from like 40 years ago, and that'll really make him go freaking wild.
Well,
And they
That's
said,
really cool.
what, Brian?
Trust me, Ray. Trust me. He was standing there saying, I think that guy owes me money.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing because
Yeah.
my wife hates it when we're someplace and we'll be at a restaurant and I'll be like, hey, that guy owes me money. I'll be back in a minute, you know? And you get up and go over. And she's like, we can't go anywhere without somebody owes you money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Said that's you see somebody and like that guy owes me. I'll be back in a minute. And my wife goes, I hate when you do that. And
That's what it's like when you got money on the street.
So do you hit them up while you're there?
oh
Man,
yeah.
you got any cash?
Oh, that's cold. That's
You missed your
cold.
payment last week. You got $100?
What we one time I was taking the wife up to the giant grocery store, and this is back when we had Blockbusters, you know, and I'm driving through the shopping center and I look over through the Blockbusters and I see a guy standing there looking at a movie, and I was like, that dude owes me money. And she goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm dropping you off and I'll come back in a minute. Dropped her off, went right back around. And as I went into the door of the Blockbusters, all of a sudden I see him duck down. And I said, okay, buddy, I know how to play this game.
Yeah.
Tracked him down,
Nice.
got him. Was like, hey, bud, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah. I'll call you this Friday to make a payment. And I said, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well,
Here we go.
see, that's it. You're dealing with deadbeats. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
look, what the hell? It's like the running joke. It's like, you know, it's like, you got my credit card number. Like I tell people, like, yeah, man, I just give it to two guys. Got my credit card. I said a phone call or a text, I'll get whatever I want. I said, I'll get it because I pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But it was funny. My wife, I come back, pick the wife up. She goes, well, and I just said,
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep.
That was real funny story. The guy that we had after Sammy, this guy Neil, and he is actually a legend among the Snap-on deals because the guy that I have now knows him. He's kind of a living legend. He again, this is like 40 years ago. I was before I was married to Linda. She wanted to buy me something for my birthday. I was like, yeah, I really need a floor jack. I said, yeah, I got a small Craftsman one. It's a piece of crap. I need a good floor jack. So she goes, well, why don't you see the tool guy? I'm like, wow, Snap-on floor jack? She's like, well, yeah. She goes, I can make can make payments on it, right? I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, you can pay it off weekly. So she goes, all right, well, I'll give you something down and we make payments. Okay. Make the deal, get the jack. So every week Neil would give me my receipt and then he would write his receipt to Linda and he'd usually put like hearts after it or whatever. And I'd give him $20. He'd give me the receipt. So it was like 2 months later or so, he sees me. He says, oh, dude, he goes, oh, I got trouble. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, oh, I got problems with my wife. She's going to kill me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, well, it involves you. I'm like, me? I said, I met your wife once. I'm like, I haven't been near her. Like, trust me. Like, whatever she said, it's a lie. So he's like, no, you don't get it. She does my books. And she's doing my books. She's going through my receipts, and she is asking me, who's Linda? You know, she thinks he's screwing around with some girl on the route or whatever because he's writing receipts with hearts and flowers. So I said, Neil, let's get her on the phone. We'll take care of this right now. No, she won't listen to anybody. It's like crazy. She's a crazy Italian. Oh my God. I'm like, I'll talk to her. Don't worry. I'll get my girlfriend. I'll put her on the phone. So I don't know how I ever resolved it, but I still have that receipt. I have it out in my books, the old carbon copy, yellow receipt.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Almost got him divorced.
Almost.
Tool guy.
Yeah.
Real.
Oh, crazy.
The trials and tribulations.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Oh, well. Got to get ready to run those credit cards.
Yeah. Run them out. Like I said, I've been working off making my lists.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. It looks like a Northern tool seat.
Yeah, I know. It's long. I had to keep you here because I see stuff on YouTube. I'm like, hey, that looks good. You know, they'll go and I'll check it out. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Or sometimes.
Hey, speaking of YouTube, did you see I don't know how old this episode is from that guy Rick Beato.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen anything from his in a while. No, what did he do?
He did a whole thing on awesome keyboard sounds.
Okay.
Top 25 keyboard sounds.
All right.
He's got Keith Emerson's in there, Greg Allman. It's like all kinds of really cool stuff. Great keyboard intros and sounds.
Maybe I'll send you this. Oh, in the God of the Vita.
Yeah. And then after that ended, in the suggestions, there was another guy did the top 20 female guitarists from around the world.
Lita Ford.
Oh my God! But no, some of these girls you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And they're like unbelievable, totally shredding, and I'm like, whoa!
I tell you, I follow.
What's going on here?
I follow Ludwig on Instagram, and they're always putting stuff up of like unknown drummers, and a lot of these female drummers are phenomenal.
I know.
The guy that I got my set from, he sent me he has a YouTube channel. He goes, Ray, I'm sending you, I'm including you on this lesson. He goes, I don't publish this. It was all about playing just like a jazz beat, just like a jazz beat, right hand on the ride, and then left foot on the 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. And you do this for like a half hour, and it's like, and you're hitting the snare on the 1, you go a couple times and it's on the 2 and on the 3, and he goes by the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F. Each one has a different beat, and by the end you're playing like a shuffle beat. Right. And I'm like, and he goes, now let's go back to P.
That's like really familiar to a lesson in that book, Syncopation.
I would imagine so. Yeah. I'm like, how the hell do you keep track of all that in your head? I was lost. I'm like,
oh God, I know.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Nutty stuff.
Yeah,
definitely. I like that guy Rick though. He's got a lot of good stuff.
He is good. Yeah. Well, he does stuff. He'll do bass stuff, guitar stuff, drum stuff. He does it all.
All of it. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. I subscribe to him.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from him in a while, and I have to look. But so we'll see. Good deal.
Have you been tuning into to Lou's talk thing on Wednesday nights?
No, I've been seeing the links for it. I haven't tuned into it though. Have you checked it out?
Oh man, it's totally awesome. He gets some crazy people on there.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's hooked up with that guy, the Monday morning crew chief. This redheaded guy from the Carolinas.
Okay.
Who's like a total pro.
Right.
With doing, those live things. And they've got a program that's totally awesome.
Right. Yep.
So it's him, and I don't know who he's got. His co-host is this guy John. I don't know who John is.
I don't know.
Very knowledgeable car guy.
Right.
Yeah. And every week they got somebody else on there. They got some really cool stuff. And I saw he played a clip of a video. I didn't know Lou was going around the country looking for famous, TV and movie cars.
He's trying to sell a show.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell the thing, and of course Lou said that he's probably going to end up doing it himself. Right. As the show, because he went to what was it, Discovery or whatever, and what happened was he left it with somebody there to show. I mean, to throw the pitch.
Oh, and they tried to do it on their own.
Well, no, but 6 months later, they contact him and says, "Hey, we got the show that you might be interested in."
Right.
You go, you'd be a perfect host for it. And he's like, yeah. You mean like we go around? He goes, yeah, you're on board. He goes, it's my show, idiot.
Unreal.
Nice.
So, but
he found a monkey mobile, and I think he said the monkey mobile is in Atlantic City or something.
Oh wow!
It's funny because he was talking about JFK's limo that he was shot in.
Yeah.
In that limo, I've sat in that limo.
Wow.
My dad, when he did Secret Service, it was down in the basement, and he's like, "Hey, let's go downstairs and look around in the motor pool for a minute." And we went down there, and all those cars, you know, the biggest problem, like those cars, they all get rebranded, not rebranded, but they get reinstated and upgraded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that limo has, you know, been used multiple times afterwards, you know, from being that.
Right.
You know, it's like I used to play when I was a little guy. I used to play in Eisenhower's limo.
Yeah.
You know, and I got pictures of me crawling around on this big old Chrysler Imperial thing. You know.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, but like I said, it's hard to find those things. Like JFK's limo that he was shot in. It'll be kind of hard to find because those things get repurposed and moved around. You know, so it's
yeah.
You know that
he had said that they were gonna go live from Barrett Jackson.
He's been posting like daily from Barrett Jackson now.
And I was waiting around last night when he normally comes on at 8 o'clock, and there was nothing.
No.
And then I kept checking links, and I'm like, I guess they just couldn't go live from Barrett Jackson.
Now on his Instagram,
he didn't do a live show last night.
He's actually doing the thing that always pissed me off when a guy goes to like Barrett Jackson or like Sema, well, they just start putting pictures up of all the cars are cool, but it's like car after car after car. It's like I ride already. I get it. It's like a lot of cool cars there. You know, stop.
Yeah. Now, he said he was just going. They were going to do that like on the fly or stay tuned or something, post it or whatever. Because I got a notification, but I was like I said, I was in the middle of work. I mean, you know, I said I'd go back to it, but
yeah.
Very cool.
So, but it's an interesting show.
It is, yeah. It's done nice. Like I said, that guy with the red hair, he's a total pro at that stuff.
Fred.
He also does another show on like
I think it's Fred.
Later on Wednesdays. It's a whole motorsports thing. And they had my buddy Johnny Pacino from Comac. He's the Mountain Motor Pro Stock champion from this year. So he was on live. So it was cool. So they were talking about, you know, they were talking about how NHRA really brought drag racing back with this pandemic and the model that they followed. And then, you know, Coca-Cola, they bailed out. They were the major sponsor, Coca-Cola products.
Mello Yellow.
Yeah, Mello Yellow was the major sponsor for NHRA for years. They would just change the brand.
Yeah.
And then this pandemic hit, and Coke, they broke the contract.
Yeah.
They literally walked away.
Wow.
And the guy that owns Camping World, he's like, I'm in. He jumped right in. That guy, Marcus Lamanis.
Yeah.
And they did a hell of a good job.
I'm really surprised that he's still tied in with NASCAR with the truck series.
Yeah, he is.
Because when Mako, we used to sponsor Rusty Wallace and Joe Nemechek, and we had one other guy. We used to have, but the amount of limitation that we had on that, they pulled away from NASCAR, and that's when we did the NHRA. They could sponsor 8 races a year and about 15 cars for the cost of money.
Yeah, Reds.
The cost of the cars on that. So it's pretty interesting that I'm surprised that Camping World.
This is good stuff too.
I don't know what that is.
The alkaline water.
Yeah. Alkaline water. It's really healthy for you.
All right.
Yeah.
It readjusts the pH in your body.
It makes your willy wiggle, John. Be careful.
No, don't. Don't do not. It tastes good. But Barb did a lot of research.
Eat your vegetables.
No. If you keep your body's pH in the alkaline range, it blocks cancer.
Oh wow.
It's proven. And it tastes good. So I'm like, that's awesome. So that's like all I drink. Tons of it. So I'm an alky.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting.
I got the day off tomorrow. Thank God. Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. There's always something. See what happens.
Yeah.
At least I don't have to get up early. Today was a long day. Gosh, it was horrible. Oh, I think I'm going to hit the highway.
Yeah, me too. I got to go throw the garbage out. Go to bed.
Throw the garbage.
Yeah. See what it's like outside.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I gotta get ready for tomorrow. Hopefully I can end the week.
Run those credit cards.
Weird around here, man. Really weird.
Yeah.
We've had last week it was dead. Every place was just dead. And
71 degrees right now.
Nice.
Things you have like two good days. Things are crazy. Shops are busy, and then you have like 3 dead days. It's really inconsistent.
Right.
So hopefully I can just, it's amazing just getting the weeks done.
Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy. So, oh well.
I find.
All right, guys. Don't work too hard.
Than I should be.
No, I won't. All right, fellas. Talk to you all
Talking
soon.
to you.
All right. Hey, let me know, Ray. I'll let you know on those sockets. And like I said, if you need anything, just give me a text.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a list. I'm working on a list, and then I got to go through it and see what's, what I want to do. And there's actually, Michael was showing off some jackets. I wrote down 2 of them, but then I'm looking through the catalog, and there's I said, you know what? There's a nice black and red flannel shirt that I like that's Matco brand. I like that better. I like that better than the jacket, I think, because I wear flannels a lot. So put that on my list too.
I might. Which side? Well, just just let me know, because I think I have a couple of those flannel shirts.
Okay. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Did the remember back around Christmas time, the freaking the neon clock?
The neon clock.
Remember I bought the neon clock.
Oh yeah.
The neon didn't work. Remember they were supposed to send another one.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
I haven't seen it. I'll have to go back and look through my back orders.
Yeah. All right. I keep forgetting. I kept forgetting to mention that to you.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I had to go back and look through my back orders.
All right.
Still on. That's the only problem right now.
All right.
Like almost $18,000 sitting in back orders.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah, tell me about it. And I got guys every week. Where's the? Dude, I can't make it, man.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I got the same thing going on with fish.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like hit and miss as to what comes in and the condition that they come in at.
That's weird.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
And then glass and acrylic for tanks.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
All being used for partitions and everything else.
Yeah.
I asked my 2 glass companies that build tanks for me for a quote on my lawyer's tank in his new house. It's 2 weeks now. I haven't gotten a quote from them because they don't know when they're going to have the material and what is that material going to cost them, so they can adjust the price to me.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And my acrylic guy, he's buying up as much acrylic as he can find, but he can't build any big tanks because he doesn't have any of the thick stuff. And he can't build any of the real small tanks because the thin stuff all went to restaurants and banks and the whole deal. And the companies that they buy the acrylic from, they switched over to doing all of this partition stuff, and they're not supplying guys that build tanks.
Right.
It was really funny because
this shit ain't over.
Right before the pandemic, it was funny. I wanted to build a shelf out of the acrylic plexiglass stuff.
Right.
my Hot Wheels, right? You know, I want the shelf with the LED lights going down so it lights up, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Dark, you know, because I've done a wood one. And it's just so dark, you know? So I'm like figuring all that stuff out and doing. I said, I'll just get that stuff one day. It's not that expensive. I'll stop. Then, of course, you couldn't find it. And then when you do find it, it's like
Crazy.
I'm like, just leave them. Never mind.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It took almost a year before any of this pandemic crap actually started to affect me.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of supplies and things. But you know, there was enough backlog of stuff in the pipeline that probably 8-9 months wasn't an issue.
Right.
But now everything's a problem. I'm like,
Because
wow.
everything's used up. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's used up and they're not getting stuff in stock and the pipelines are, you know, slow because crap's not coming out of China or wherever.
A lot of that stuff is sitting like on deck. I mean, well, that's just like when you were talking to what's his name from Lyle.
Oh, Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie. You know, it's like, dude, all you gotta do is have one person say they don't feel good, and everything gets shut down. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, you get shut down, or it's just, like you said, it's easier just to pay the person to stay home because you can't.
Yeah.
You get so far behind.
Right.
We have this problem with you know, our toolboxes up in upstate New York.
Mhm.
It's Jamestown, and that's what they were saying. They say somebody comes in and say they don't feel good. New York, the way New York is, you know, everything shuts down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, you're down for a week or whatever until, and then you get so many people out, you can only do so much work.
That's right.
This whole
Yeah.
thing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Oh well,
All
it'll
right.
be better in a couple more weeks.
Yep.
I hope.
All right, boys.
Good talking to you.
All
Be
right.
safe.
All right.
See you later.
Play in Traffic signing out.